social media has completely changed everything for us because, number one, it's free. And number two, you can get in front of millions of people for free at any minute. So what we really try to do is just try to engage and make relationships without ever leaving our home, kind of show who we are, show our personality, show what we can do, gain followers, and then, of course, hope that translate into business.
Welcome back to Good Better Broker as we bring in Michael Cain and Tracy Campagna. They are the SD mortgage couple with C2 Financial based in San Diego, California. Michael, Tracy, great to have you here.
Great. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Glad to come out.
So a little about you guys and the power couple that you are. 136 million in closed volume in 2024. Michael, you're the number one LO in volume in the state of California in closed loans in both 24 and 23. Tracy, you've been in the business now for 25 years, and as I mentioned, together you are the SD mortgage couple with nearly 33,000 followers on Instagram. And that is a great place to start the conversation, guys, because social media is how you grew your business. So, Tracy, for starters, describe for our listeners your strategy on social media.
Well, social media has completely changed everything for us because, number one, it's free. And number two, you can get in front of millions of people for free at any minute. So what we really try to do is just try to engage and make relationships without ever leaving our home, kind of show who we are, show our personality, show what we can do, gain followers, and then, of course, hope that translate into business.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely transformed our business with the scope that we're able to reach people. And then also we hear often from people that do follow us or that, maybe we've been chasing for a little bit. When they do meet us or they do give us a deal, they say, like, we feel like we already know you. So it's a little bit more engaging right up front.
Mike, this focus on social media was kind of born out of necessity based on the big shift that you guys made in your lives a few years back. Tell us about that.
Definitely. So Tracy and I actually met in Chicago. We were both mortgage brokers at a different company. And we just decided to take a leap to San Diego, on a whim, saying, we could do loans anywhere. Where do you want to do it? We both settled on San Diego pretty quickly, pretty quick process. And then we got here, we're like, holy cow, this is like the big leagues. We thought Chicago was the big leagues, but it was nothing. And social media was already kind of big out here. So we saw the influencers and showing San Diego houses is so beautiful. So we're like, well, we need to get on this bandwagon as well. It's where the next wave is. Mm-hmm. And we just quickly gravitated to trying to grow our Instagram.
I saw you smiling as he was talking about that. When you think back to that time and that move, Tracy, out to San Diego and you're in this beautiful place. By the way, you're both smarter than me because you chose to leave the cold and go somewhere warm and beautiful, which is great. But when you think back to that time, Tracy, and you kind of realized that you were going to have to take this social media driven approach to building your business, what comes to mind?
Well, we didn't even know what we didn't even know at first. And then that's why I was just laughing because we just started randomly, put some things out there and then said, ooh, let's just go. But what the path that it's taken and the momentum that it's gained and where it's gone has just been amazing and incredible for us and really has helped us grow our whole entire business. So that's why I was just laughing like, wow, I can't believe it. It's crazy.
Mike, it was funny. You mentioned a few moments ago, kind of allow people the chance to get to know you before they know you. And before we even got on a Zoom call to talk about doing this interview, I kind of felt like I know you both because I followed you on Instagram. And I want to ask you about your handle, SD Mortgage Couple, and how you came up with that.
It's a pretty funny story. I mean, honestly, we were like, okay, so we got to sit down. We got to come up with a name because there was a lot of cool people with like different names in our market, right? Like one realtor, she had a pretty cool name. It was White Russia. And then there was another realtor, Kelly Agent.
Yeah.
And then they all had kind of cool names, right? And then we're like, okay, so let's just simple down. What do we do? Well, we do mortgages. Okay. Well, we're a couple. So we just kept on brainstorming, threw out some things, and we just settled on SD Mortgage Couple. I remember we were sitting at a restaurant in San Diego. Was it?
It was in Solana Beach.
A little bar, I think. Yeah. We were just sitting there, just having a couple cocktails, and we just brainstormed. And like, okay, that's it. I think we wanted the mortgage couple.
Yeah.
But somebody had it.
I should have paid him for it.
So we just settled on SD. We wanted to be very San Diego specific and reach our people there. And so we just said, let's run with it.
And you're also letting people know exactly what you do.
Right.
I feel like sometimes people will come up with a handle, it might be a clever name, it might be funny, but there's also maybe some ambiguity about what it is they do for a living. With you guys, there's no mistaking what it is you're doing.
Right. That's why we were like, hey, we live in San Diego. We do mortgages and we're a couple. So
Yeah.
It works.
that says it. That
And
says
some
it
of
all.
our realtor partners that are very successful have very simple names like, Shopping San Diego Houses. It's a realtor office that we work with. Very simple. You know exactly what you're doing. So we like that approach rather than like a Redfin. What is a Redfin? Nobody knows what a Redfin is, right? Nobody knows what a Zillow is unless you have all that marketing dollars behind it. We like just being simple and direct to everybody.
All right, Mike just brought up realtors, and Tracy, I want to ask you about this now because you are heavily focused on getting in front of those real estate agents. So
Yes.
how does social media play into this?
Well, social media gives us the platform to be able to say, hey, this is what we do, and these are the successful stories that we've had. And this is maybe kind of how we would approach if you gave us a chance to work with you. So it gives us a chance to get on there and be like, hey, if you're looking for this program, this is what you can get. And I think that people are, swiping all the time. And so if you're saying something that's relevant to them, perhaps like VA or bank statement loan or, I don't know, down payment assistance, then they could say, hey, I might have somebody that needs that and share that post or tell their client about it and then hopefully come back to us with the deal.
Yeah, we could also spy on who we want to work on as well. It's like for I think a couple days ago, we just met with a new realtor couple that we've been wanting to do business with and been kind of courting for a little bit. And we sat down and Tracy's like, yeah, I scoped out your Instagram. You had shorter hair 6 months ago. So just gave us a little bit of an insight to who they are as well,
It's funny you bring that up because when we were initially talking, Tracy, I feel like you referenced this a lot. The fact that you are out there, and I hate to use this word, but it's still the word that people use all the time. It's stalking.
Yes.
You are out there, but what you're doing is you're prospecting.
Yes.
Tell us about your efforts in that regard on social. Michael's laughing as I ask that.
Well, we do like to find people that we feel that we could be friends with, because if you have a lot in common or you're friends with someone, then maybe the business is a little bit easier. You like working with each other. The phone rings and you're like, yes, I got my friend calling in. We're going to make some money together. So we go around and we look for people that are in our area that, are interested in maybe in some of the same things we do, but that also are, high energy. We want to work with people that are kind of like us, killers.
And you want to succeed for those people that you're working with, right? So if you're working for, a realtor and they send over a referral, I always say like the client's not even the client, like the client's the realtor. Like I'm getting up and doing this hard work for them. Like obviously the goal is to close the loan and be great and have great client interface. But ultimately I want the realtor to be happy. You want the client to be happy as well, but you want them to feed you the deal. So it's really your client is the realtor. So you have to work with people that you like.
How much of what you just said, Mike, is tied to having realtors film content with you and having them get involved and not necessarily promoting different loan products, but them being collaborative with you in your approach to posting on social?
Yeah, we like to do content days. Come over, we'll have sandwiches, we'll be doing work in the background, we'll have some videographers, we'll talk about success stories, we'll film success stories. And people like it. People like talking about successes. People like being in rooms with other successful realtors. Sometimes, people that ask us like, hey, are they, you got 3 power realtors sitting in a room together. Do they hate each other? Like, how do they interact? And like, no, they pick each other's brains. They want to be around other haters and see what they're doing and tell their success stories and brag about how great they're doing. And it shares a kind of synergy, I feel like.
So as we're sitting here talking, one thing I want to have you guys break down, because I feel like those who are listening to this are wondering, okay, they're successful, they're doing all this stuff on social, they're bringing in all these loans. How do they break down who does what? And Tracy, you were telling me that, you've been in the business for, over 2 decades now. And I asked you, what changed to really elevate your business, to this point? And you said you met Michael and then the two of you were able to divide and conquer. Kind of give us the breakdown of who handles what.
Well, I'm more of the kind of bubbly, outgoing, kind of social butterfly. So I try to make the relationships right up front. And, you'll see a lot of our realtor partners are women because I go after women a lot. But, I try to make a friend and then build that relationship and build their business in ours. So I'm kind of like the upfront person. And then I also am the person that sells and touches every loan as soon as it comes in. So I sell every loan, I talk to the agent, and then after it comes in,
I pretty much bring it
we
home,
take it
like,
to my phone.
underwriting questions. I kind of have a little bit, not a total photographic memory, but I can remember a lot of stuff.
Pretty good
So,
photographic memory.
so it's like, hey, what's this, or what's this scenario? And then honestly, the relationships I have here at UWM, like I can get in contact with the top people pretty quickly. Hey, how do you view this? Or I'm bringing this in, or I'm going to steal this loan from this company. So I'm more of like a little bit more of the operations, but I bring all the loans home when it comes to closing. So like once they're in contract or in escrow, Tracy's pretty much hands off at that point. And a lot of times the people, like when she is doing like the different sales calls, I'm in the car, I'm sitting right next to it. I'll hear something, I'll chime in, I'll say, hey, I'm Mike, I'm in the room. So, the people know it's kind of together. Even when I do like a follow-up call, hey, it's Mike and Trace. Even though Tracy's not even maybe not even be in the room, but they heard Tracy on the last call, so now I'm taking it over. So I kind of use it like that to bridge, like, why am I now talking to Mike versus Tracy?
And people who follow you on Instagram know this is true because I feel like almost all of your content is the two of you guys together. And you might not always be doing the same thing, but Tracy might be on the laptop, might be on the phone or whatever else. But you do get a great snapshot of that on your social media. Speaking of Tracy, to back up for a second, why Instagram? Why is that your preferred platform?
It just seems to be that it's easy for us to use as a tool, and that we have most of our target audience there. So it just grew the fastest for us. We are trying to expand to YouTube. We want to.
Yeah, I definitely like to get into YouTube. It is our goal for
And of course, I'm
2025.
obsessed with TikTok. I love TikTok. But where we're most successful is Instagram. Even though all of our posts go to all of our platforms, we still have the most interaction with Instagram.
Mike, tell me the breakdown of posts versus stories and how you guys determine which content fits in which bucket.
Definitely. So we had a social media woman that we hired that kind of helps us with this. Her algorithm, this always changes as well. So this is current as of January 2025, right? So who knows, next year, next month, it could be different. But we do at least 3 stories. Those stories may be a little bit mortgage related, may just kind of show a little bit of our life, a little peekaboo of who we are, but definitely some mortgage info or, hey, we're locking loans, just showing that we're busy. So at least 3 of those a day. Tracy's really good at helping on that. And then the posts that we do, I think we do like 1 post or 1 reel at least a day. And those are more specific to mortgage and real estate. They're not, maybe a few behind the scenes or a few little bit personal stuff, but the stuff that's on the wall is mostly like real estate / mortgage.
Right. And then our stories are more like kind of like our what is it? It's like our real life drama. What's that called? It's like our
Storytelling?
no, it's like our
Soap opera?
Yeah. Our reality show.
Oh,
reality
perfect.
Yeah,
There you
our
go.
stories are our reality, and then the posts are kind of more mortgage related. So that if you come to our page, you'll see exactly what we do, and all of our posts are kind of the actual stories that we're trying to tell, and then as the stories that disappear is more of our day-to-day business.
All right, I want to ask you about engagement now, and I was just going to ask you the question, but I was looking at your account this morning, and your most recent post just struck me because, and I'll set it up for the audience. It's a video of Michael walking across the street. I believe it's black and white, and the text on the screen says that 74% of realtors sold 0 homes in 2024, but more than 20 of the realtors that work with you guys were in the top 5% in San Diego. Now, that's powerful in itself, but what really got me was this part. You then see on the screen, it says, tag yourself and let people know who to work with. And you are talking to your realtors.
Right.
Tell me about that post and on a more macro level, how you go about getting engagement.
Well, with that post, we're really trying to get our partners to tag themselves so that people that are shopping for homes can identify who their top agents are and kind of push them in that direction. So we're trying to show not only our followers kind of who we are, but then who we work with and trying to push business to our partners in that way.
Yeah, we're always about pushing business, and then it also gives the realtors a time to shine, right? Who doesn't like talking about their success? Everybody does, right? So we have realtors popping off on there, hey, I closed 39 homes, which is huge in San Diego, like huge. So it just gives them a chance to shine. People looking at our page can then, link it to the realtors, and they can kind of do their due diligence. So it's really just about engagement, like you said. We want to get people engaged, and then the more engagement you get, the more likelihood of possibly getting like some type of viral video or something like that.
There's two different approaches you could have taken with that post, though. You could have just tagged the realtors yourself, but instead, and I'm sure this was strategic, you said tag yourself in the comments. That had to be by design, right?
Well, let's just be honest. I didn't specifically do that. We have help that helps us on our social media. But yes, I do believe that the fact was the goal was to try to get our agents then to look at it and post themselves so that they could, interact with us as well.
So this help that you have, obviously your social media person knows what they're doing.
Yes.
How did you get to the point, Mike, where you decided, okay, I think we need to get somebody else in here to help us out?
It was just taking away from too much of our of our workday. Is it does take a lot of time to craft these. I would see Tracy get frustrating when she would be like halfway through a video, and then somebody would call, and then the video would start over, just editing. And we're like, why are we spending our time on this when we should be going out doing what we're best, is writing mortgages and just giving it to a manager? And at the same time, coincidentally, one of our very good friends, who's also a realtor, kind of started that business. So we were, I think, maybe one of her first customers. So we're kind of growing with her. And now I think she's up to like maybe 10 or 12 different accounts. So,
Yeah.
And then they look at us, and we get calls all the time, like, who does your social media? So we're happy to refer it out to a friend now.
Yeah.
Tracy, we talked about the realtors that are already in your network. What about getting leads from Instagram? How do you approach that?
Well, there's two kinds of leads that we get. We get the realtor that says, hey, I've got a client, give me a call. And then we also just get people that say, last month I think we had 3 VA independent people that had no realtor come over to us and just say, hey, I was watching your videos and, I'm interested in getting pre-approved, or I couldn't get us pre-approved for as high as I want. So really it's just in the DMs, and we just start a conversation there. And then I say, give me your phone number, I'll call you now. So I'm pretty much online all the time, and my phone is like sitting there, and if it immediately beeps, I'm right on it so that I can pick up the call and get that right, or turn it into a deal, hopefully. So mostly it's in the DMs or the comments, and then we go from there. Right?
I would say also with the new, like the NAR laws, with the commissions, there's people out there now that want to save a buck, right? So people always want the house, and then the necessity is the mortgage, right? So it's kind of second thought. Well, now it's bringing it up like, hey, I can maybe cut this realtor out, or I don't know a realtor, maybe they could introduce me to somebody with a really low commission, or they don't really know how it affects them. So we have more people kind of reaching out to us up front than historically prior to the new commission laws.
Interesting. Just to hear how that has impacted the way that you guys are doing things. Yeah. Tracy, you referred to yourself as the social butterfly earlier in the conversation. So is it more effective in your mind to connect with somebody on social media first or in person first?
Well, it works just for us on social media just because we haven't been out that much since we're doing so many mortgages. And then also because you kind of feel like you have a relationship. I just went out to breakfast last week with a realtor that I've seen in the industry a lot, and I've seen on Instagram, Jeannie Irish.
Yeah.
And but we've never been able to sit down. And the first thing we said to each other when we sit down is like, I feel like we're best friends already, because I see everything you do. I know your family. I know your husband. I've seen your vacations. It's like we've been a little family almost, because we see each other so much, and it was just great. And now we've got a deal together.
Yeah,
so,
we got a couple pre-approvals going.
So Michael, you think you referenced this earlier, for 2025, one of your goals is to get into some longer form content. Tell us about that.
Really, I think we might have to hire somebody again to help us, because we just get so entrenched in like, hey, we're doing deals. I feel like maybe we need to have somebody pull us out and be like, okay, hey, this time you're going to time block 30, 60 minutes. We're going to start putting out this content. Maybe we go somewhere. Maybe they come to us. We typically like people coming to us just because it streamlines our time. So we'd pay a premium for that. But we do have a YouTube page. We just don't fill it with any type of long form content.
We will. It's goals.
Yeah, I feel like it's coming back. What's old is going to be new again. That's what a lot of people are talking about for this year. Mike, back to the realtor piece for a second. How important do you think it is? And Tracy was kind of talking about this, as far as finding things in common and feeling like you already know somebody. But when you think about the overall impact it's had on your business, why is it important to have something in common with a realtor?
We all have something in common right off the jump, is real estate, right? So if somebody's out there promoting real estate, we may not have, all the similar tastes, but we can connect on real estate and mortgage. So, but you do want to see like, what they have on their page.
I don't know. I thought I put everything on.
It's all right.
on
Yeah, we'll start right there.
I want to start with your question.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I'll tee him up again with the question. Somebody found a way to get through airplane mode.
What is it if you call over and over and over?
Is that a
I don't
phone
know.
call?
It sounded like it might be an alarm.
Yeah, an alarm goes off with airplane mode. All right, Tracy, you didn't like the way I was answering that question, huh? So what do you want?
She sent a magic message to her phone.
What did you want me to say?
How important is it
how
to
do
find
we-
something in common with a realtor?
And I said that we all have something in common in real estate. What else?
I said. That's just when we pause anyway. It is important because we want to have like minded people that we work with,
Yeah.
and we already have something in common because we're out here trying to make a difference in San Diego. So it is
Exactly.
important.
Yeah.
You don't want to have
We'll pick
nothing
it up.
in common.
We'll pick it up
All
right
right, then
there.
you take that question.
No,
over.
you do it. You're doing great.
You have
We've only got a couple. We've only got a couple left.
Yeah.
Take
I
that
love
one,
how
Trace.
supportive you guys
Take-
are. of
Take
each
that
other.
one.
This is
Take that
great.
one. I don't
All right.
take that one, Tracy.
All right. I'll throw it Tracy's way.
Tracy's
Okay.
Because then I'm coming back to Mike.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Tracy, you were talking about just finding things that you have in common with some of these realtors that you connect with on social media. Once you develop the relationship and you start doing business with them, how important is it to have that common ground with your realtor partners?
Well, I think it's really important because you want to, have things that you're working towards a common goal, and we want people to work with us that have similar drive and, similar goals where we all want to be successful in the San Diego real estate market. And it wouldn't work out to have a partner that you have completely opposite mindset of. So I think that it's pretty important to have similarities and to be in that same kind of, running towards a target goal. Yeah.
Also, I would say if you do notice that you have things that are completely opposite sides of the spectrum, maybe you just avoid those.
Exactly.
Good call. So to kind of put a bow on it here, guys, I just want to ask you about your message for other brokers, other LOs who are listening to this, because it's remarkable what you've done. I mean, like you said, you picked up your life, you moved from Chicago to a brand new city. You didn't know anyone, and now it seems like you know everyone. Right. So, Mike, what is your message to people out there who would like to take a page from your playbook and grow that footprint on social media to help their business?
It's really just like anything in the business. You have to get up and do it. And if you don't want to do it, you have to do it. And if you're struggling to do it, you still got to do it. And if you can't do it, you got to hire somebody to help you do it. So really, it's just like Nike, just do it. Like you just have to. Like you have to make it a daily thing, no matter how much Tracy's like, oh, we don't want to post. I have to post. Well, then we're taking a photo of our breakfast, So you can't be shy, So
It's our reality show.
Do you like it though? I mean, I know for some people they say, oh, if I didn't work in this business, I wouldn't do social media at all. And you guys are, make no mistake, your LO is first, and social media people second. But do you actually like doing it, Tracy?
I do on sometimes, but then also sometimes when things are a little more private or like we're on a vacation, I don't want to put exactly where we are at some point sometimes, but then I'm like, well, it's not fair then to people who follow us for our reality show. So then I do it anyway. But sometimes, most of the time I love it. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to share this kind of one section. But in the end, I think we put everything out there mostly.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't resist, and I'm like, I do it anyway. It's fair.
Yeah, I mean, just like I said, you just got to do it. And things that I don't like about it is maybe if like I'm sitting in like my underwear and like a sweater, working on a crappy loan or something, and I don't want to break my focus. When Tracy's like, "Hey, show them what you're doing," so it's fine. But would I like to be portrayed like Dapper Don in like a nice suit all the time? But we work from home, so like we're just sitting there at my computer in the garage for right now. We're getting the office built out in the home office. So, we just want to do a lot of loans.
Yeah.
And that's just like everybody, right?
Right,
So,
right.
well, what you are doing is obviously working quite well. So, thanks for sharing with us. Continued success to both of you, and for those out there that want to see all of Michael and Tracy's great content, follow them at SD Mortgage Couple on Instagram. Michael, Cain, and Tracy Campagna. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us on. We
Thank you
appreciate
so
you.
much. We appreciate it.
And UWM.
Thank you for watching Good Better Broker and helping us support independent mortgage brokers everywhere. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to be notified about new videos, as well as your preferred podcast platform for a new episode every other Tuesday.